In this video, we'll show you how to install our new Stage 1 audio system for select 2017 and newer Can-Am Defenders. Welcome back, guys. I'm Eric, and we'll be installing the Stage 1 kit in our 2020 Can-Am Defender Limited. We'll also show you the additional steps necessary for the remaining Can-Am Defender models. Now refer to our website's compatibility chart on the product details page to verify fitment of your vehicle. We'll get started by using a T30 Torx to remove the battery cover and a 10mm socket to disconnect the battery. Now we're ready to remove the headliner. On your Defender, you may not have this, so you can skip to the next section. Let's get started by removing the headliner brace by using a T20 Torx to remove 8 screws. Now once that's done, unscrew the dome light using a 7/32 socket to remove 2 screws. Then a T20 to remove the remaining 2 bolts on the outer sides of the headliner. Once the headliner is free, you can detach the bullet connectors to the dome light and remove the headliner from the vehicle. Now we're ready to remove the upper console assembly. Again, your Defender may not have this, so you can skip to the next section. We'll start by using a T30 Torx to remove 2 screws holding the mirror in place, and 6 screws holding the console in place. Now you may need a second person to hold the console while removing the screws. Now once that's done, detach the outer brackets by removing 2 screws from each one using a T30 Torx. Once that's done, complete the process on the other side. The Can-Am Defender Limited Edition has an entire assembly that includes a power distribution block, windshield wiper motor, and washer tubing. Now we've included the necessary hardware for models that are not equipped with this cage assembly from the factory. The next several steps are for the remaining Defender editions that require this upper console cage installation. If you have a limited edition or upper console cage already installed, you can skip to the next section. The included upper console cage features a front-mounted bracket that's secured through the upper roof support using the included nuts. Now we've also included Timberman clips to secure the speaker pods. We'll start by prepping the clips by slightly clamping them down, then insert them into the 4 locations on the cage. Take note the orientation of the screw receptacle. To get started, we'll remove the front driver's fender by popping the hood and detaching 2 push pins. Next, we'll remove 2 screws from the underside of the fender using a T30 Torx. In this kit, we've included everything needed to install the power harness, including a long reach magnet, fishing line, power harness, and butt connectors to attach the power adapter. Do not attach this until after the harness is installed. Now we're ready to run the power harness. First, detach the front control panel. Now you may need a plastic pry tool to detach the bottom side. Start routing your harness over the top of the steering wheel pillar. Remove the driver's pocket by squeezing and pulling it out. Grab the harness, then pull out the remaining slack. Grab the end of the harness and push it back through to the top corner of the A-frame and out the hole. Locate the upper hole in the driver's side A-frame and begin fishing the line with the weight down the A-pillar while simultaneously inserting the long reach magnet to capture the weight until you hear it click. You may need to rotate the magnet arm to capture the weight. Finally, tape the harness to the fishing line and pull it through to the top. Now, remove the tape and attach the power plug using butt connectors. Connect red to red and black to black. Slightly tug on the wires to make sure your connections are tight. Now we're ready to show how to install the center cage for the upper console. We'll be demonstrating this installation on our limited edition with the bracket already installed so you can see the process. You'll need to insert the bracket from the outside through the sheet metal holes, making sure the notches match the factory contours. You'll need a second person to hold the outer bracket in place while attaching the center cage. Use the provided hardware to hand tighten the T30 screws and 10mm nuts. Now, leave this assembly loose for now. Finally, route the power harness to the middle of the cage assembly. Now that that's done, we'll make our wiring connections to the power distribution block. We'll remove the nut from both the ground and switch 12-volt posts using a 10mm socket. Connect the red to the right terminal and secure it into place using the 10mm nut. Secure the black to the left terminal and secure it in place as well. Now we're ready to reattach the center dash panels by inserting the upper tabs first, then snapping the lower portion into place. Replace the driver's pocket back into place as well. Now, reattach the fender using the T230 screws on the inside and the 2 push pins on the top side. Now we're ready to prep the center console cage and power our limited edition Defender. We'll start by loosening the upper console cage with a 10mm ratchet and T30 Torx. Now remember to leave at least ½ inch of spacing for installation of our speaker pods later. Since we're utilizing the factory-equipped auxiliary power harness, we'll crimp these ring terminals to the power plug and attach them to the distribution block. Use a 10mm socket to connect the black to the left ground terminal and the red to the middle switched 12-volt. Now that we're done with the non-limited specific installation, the following steps will be applicable for all Defender models. Now we're ready to install our speaker pods. Note that we have passenger and driver side pods. These open tabs will slide into the center cage. We'll use the provided hardware to loosely position the pods into place using these mounting points. Now install the passenger speaker pod by inserting the inner side into the bolts loosened earlier and slightly tighten them using a T30 Torx. This is the same procedure for all Defender models. Install the outer screws and bolts using a 10mm wrench and T30, being sure to install the bolt on the top side of the assembly. The bolt under the roof may be tight, so we recommend a ratcheting box wrench. When you're done, complete the process on the driver's side. Once both pods are properly positioned, finish tightening all the bolts to secure the pods in place. Now we're ready to install the PMX source unit. Attach the passenger and driver's Deutsch connectors to the PMX harness. The connectors are keyed to eliminate installation errors. Route the cables through the center of the cage and attach the power connector. Now note, the radio needs to touch the top of the center console, so be sure to clear any harnessing to the sides of the radio. Secure the 2 large screws on either side of the radio using a T30 Torx. Then, attach the 4 smaller screws on the fascia and 2 on the back side using a T20. Finish installing the remaining 2 larger screws used to attach the rearview mirror. Now we're ready to reassemble the vehicle. If your Defender doesn't have a headliner, you can skip to the next section. We'll first attach the dome light connections, then secure the headliner back in place. Finally, we'll re-secure the back headliner brace right in place. Now we're ready to make our battery connections. Reattach the positive and negative terminals and replace the battery cover into place. All right, we made it. Now we're ready to test and tune the vehicle. Turn the ignition on and make sure all functions are working properly. You can find a recommended tuning guide on the product details page of our website and in the description of this video. As you can see, that installation was pretty straightforward, right? If you have any questions, please feel free to contact our technical support at 1-800-669-9899 or through live chat at the bottom of our website at rockfordfosgate.com. We'll see you in the next video.